So now that we've mobilized the spine, the shoulder joint, the shoulder girdle, got our breathing right, next we're going to learn how to prime and stabilize the core and the trunk. So there's a lot of different exercises out there for core stability, but specifically this one has been my favorite one for overhead lifting. So you set yourself up in a plank-like position with your shoulders under your hips. You're finding neutral in your spine. Hips are tipped up, so your glutes are engaged. And then what I'm doing is I'm going to pull my elbows in towards my toes. So this is going to create a lot of force. And as I do that, I'm going to exhale. So you notice there's no movement. I'm pulling in, creating static core stability. So there's no movement. And I'm compressing as I exhale. So this is, again, a really good drill to help pattern in the stability you need once the bar gets overhead. So for your core stability drill, if you're finding it really challenging from your toes, you can come down onto your knees, but you'll have to put a lot more emphasis on what your shoulders are doing. So you come down onto your knees. Again, you want to find a neutral position through the hip so that you're engaging your glutes and your core. I'm pushing my shoulders away from the ground here and pulling my shoulders back and down. And as I contract, I'm visualizing pulling my elbows towards my knees, keeping my hips locked. And as I do that, I'm exhaling and then relaxing, pulling in, exhaling, and relaxing. Alright guys, so next we're going to talk about scapular stability. And you get stability from challenging it, and we're going to use bands today to challenge it. The movement we want to establish, especially for overhead lifts, is when the arms come up, we want to make sure we're retracting and depressing the scapula to allow the shoulder joint or the glenohumeral joint to sit in a comfortable position. So we're going to pattern that in, so it's a retraction, depression of the scapula with the bands here. So you take a set of bands, it has to be very light. We're going to set up in a kneeling position, tall kneeling position. So this is going to challenge your diagonal stability as well. So what the objective here is to find a stable position at my pelvis, so my hips are in a neutral position, anchoring my lower body and my torso down, allowing me to focus on my scapular stability. So I'm going to create a wide position, the arms come up. So you'll notice where my shoulders are now. And as I go through the drills, retracting, so pulling back and depressing, my shoulders move away from my ears. And I'm just practicing that. Relax, come back into the position, retract, depress, keeping my elbows straight. That's a very important cue. And just practicing that pattern. If you're doing it correctly, you're going to feel your lower lat fibers kick in, so right through here. You're going to practice that 5 to 10 reps per side. Go for your lifts, see how that's feeling. Alright guys, so next we're going to talk about stability drills to emphasize loading overhead. So this is a really good drill borrowed from kettlebell training. So you have a kettlebell, you clean it up, press it up overhead. I'm just going to turn to my side and show you what I want to do. So I'm going to look to stabilize or neutralize my pelvis and my hip. I'm going to look for that trunk stability from the previous drill we did. You're clenching really hard. You're looking for the position again where you feel your lower lat fibers kicking in. So I'm retracting, depressing my scapula, feeling space in my glenohumeral joint, in my shoulder joint. Arm comes out for balance, and now I'm just going to go from this position. It's going to lean forward and lean back. Lean forward, lean back. So I'm looking to load the end ranges and really challenge my shoulder girdle with an overhead load while the scapula is retracted and depressed. So another really good drill you can work on to improve or prepare your body for overhead lifts is something that's going to stick, that challenges stability. So this is a really good one. You're going to clean the kettlebell up, press overhead, come back down. You're going to tip the kettlebell up in so you're holding the handle. So this is called bottoms up. I'm going to turn on my slide so you can see. I'm going to look for that retract, depressed shoulder girdle position. I'm going to rotate my arm out slightly so that I can load through that and press through that position, and I'm pressing out through that position. Again, in that wide position. The whole time looking for the feeling of my lower lat fibers kicking in and keeping my wrist and elbow in neutral positions. So this is a lot more challenging than you think, and really also really good to help improve your grip strength. So as you can see, I'm going really slow, and I wanted to spend time so that I can really pattern and groove in the correct stability for that shoulder to receive the weight overhead. Thanks for tuning in, guys, today. Hope you learned something, and we really hope that all these tips and techniques will improve your performance and keep you injury free. If you have any comments, if anything's working really well from you, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for joining us, and catch you later.